On February 28, 2026, a series of U.S. and Israeli airstrikes hit Tehran and killed Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, the man who had ruled Iran with absolute authority for 37 years. His wife, several family members, and key regime figures died alongside him. It was one of the most seismic single military actions in the history of the modern Middle East. Within days, Iran's Assembly of Experts convened in secrecy, their own building in Qom having been destroyed in follow-up strikes, and appointed Mojtaba Khamenei, the supreme leader's 56-year-old son, as his father's successor. Iran had a new supreme leader, but here is where the story gets deeply complicated. Since the moment of his appointment, Mojtaba Khamenei has not appeared on camera, not once. He has not released a video. He has not released an audio recording. His first public statement, a lengthy defiant declaration vowing to keep the Strait of Hormuz closed and threatening American military bases across the region, was delivered not by him but read aloud by a state television news anchor while a still photograph of him was displayed on screen. The U.S. Defense Secretary publicly stated that Iran's new supreme leader is wounded and likely disfigured. President Trump told his inner circle that he believes Iran is essentially leaderless and that Mojtaba Khamenei may already be dead. Iran's own foreign minister felt compelled to issue a statement insisting the new leader is in perfect health and fully managing the situation. In Iranian political history, when a government goes out of its way to tell the world its leader is perfectly healthy without showing a single second of video, that is not reassurance. That is a signal. And the question the entire intelligence community is now asking is the one we are going to answer today. Is Mojtaba Khamenei genuinely in control of Iran? Or has the war that killed his father already claimed its second supreme leader? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are covering one of the most consequential and genuinely unresolved questions in global geopolitics right now: the true condition and status of Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, and what his absence from public view means for the future of the Iranian state, the ongoing war, and the stability of the entire Middle East. To be clear from the outset, this is not a conspiracy theory video. Every claim we make today is drawn from documented reporting by major international news organizations, statements by senior U.S. and Israeli officials, analysis from credentialed Iran experts, and the publicly observable behavior of the Iranian government itself. The double assassination theory, the idea that the same war that killed the father has effectively incapacitated or killed the son, is not a fringe speculation. It is a theory being actively discussed inside the White House, inside the intelligence community, and in the most serious geopolitical analysis circles in the world. And the reason it is being discussed is simple. The observable evidence is consistent with it. The events of February 28th, what actually happened to understand the questions surrounding Mojtaba Khamenei's condition? You have to understand the strike that created this situation. On February 28, 2026, U.S. and Israeli forces launched a coordinated opening salvo against Iran in what has become a full-scale military conflict. The strikes targeted Iranian nuclear infrastructure, IRGC command positions, and critically, the leadership compound where Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei and his inner circle were located. Ali Khamenei was killed in that strike. His wife was killed. Several other family members were killed. Initial reports from multiple sources, including Iranian opposition figures and Western intelligence assessments, indicated that Mojtaba Khamenei had also been killed in the same strike. Those initial reports turned out to be premature. Iranian state media subsequently clarified that while Mojtaba survived, he was injured. The semi-official Mehr news agency confirmed he was alive. But crucially, no video, no audio, and no direct public appearance accompanied that confirmation. What followed was a succession process shrouded in extraordinary secrecy. The Assembly of Experts, the body of senior clerics constitutionally empowered to appoint Iran's supreme leader, convened under wartime conditions, with their primary meeting building in Qom having been destroyed by further strikes. Questions were immediately raised about whether all 88 members of the body were even alive to participate in the deliberations. No public details of the process were disclosed. No vote count was released. No images of the deliberations were shared. The result was announced as a fait accompli. Mojtaba Khamenei was Iran's new supreme leader. The evidence that something is wrong since his appointment, the pattern of Mojtaba Khamenei's public presence, or rather, the complete absence of it, has generated legitimate and serious concern across every credible analytical community covering Iran. His first public statement, delivered 4 days after his appointment, was read by a state television anchor. It was a written statement only, no video, no audio, no recent photographs. Iranian state television displayed a still image of him, not footage from after the strike, not footage from after the appointment, but an archived photograph. This is extraordinary. Modern authoritarian governments, even those operating under wartime conditions, have the capability to produce a brief video message from their leader. Iran has done this routinely throughout its history. Ayatollah Khamenei delivered audio messages from exile in Paris in 1979. Ali Khamenei gave video addresses throughout his tenure, including during times of crisis. The Islamic Republic has always understood the critical importance of visually confirming its leadership's presence and authority. The decision to deliver Mojtaba Khamenei's first statement through a television anchor reading a written text is not a logistical limitation. It is a deliberate choice, and the deliberateness of that choice raises the question of what Iran's leadership is trying to conceal. Iranian opposition figure Mohsen Sazegara, a founding member of the IRGC who became a prominent critic of the Islamic Republic, told Euronews that sources inside Iran indicated Mojtaba Khamenei is alive but are recovering from injuries. According to those sources, his abdomen and leg required surgery, and he may have also sustained facial injuries. Sazegara emphasized he could not independently confirm the exact nature of the wounds, but that, based on his information, the injuries did not appear to be immediately life-threatening. But not immediately life-threatening and capable of governing a nation at war are two very different things. And the gap between those two descriptions is where the double assassination theory lives. Iran's reaction, the telltale signs, the behavior of the Iranian government in response to questions about Mojtaba Khamenei's condition is itself one of the most revealing data points in this entire analysis. Iran Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi felt compelled to personally go on the record stating that the supreme leader is in perfect health and fully managing the situation. This statement was issued specifically in response to Trump's public doubts about Khamenei's condition. In Iranian political culture, and in authoritarian political culture more broadly, this pattern is well recognized. When a government repeatedly and emphatically insists its leader is perfectly healthy, without providing any visual evidence, it typically signals the opposite. This pattern has been documented in multiple historical cases involving secretive authoritarian regimes, from the Soviet Union's management of aging and incapacitated leaders to North Korea's management of Kim Jong-il's health crisis in 2008. The Telegram channel created by Mojtaba Khamenei's office to disseminate his written statement, a new channel created specifically for this purpose, is another notable detail. A supreme leader with full command capability would communicate through established institutional channels. The creation of a new informal channel suggests improvisation under pressure rather than controlled. Centralized authority. CNN's analysis of the written statement noted that Khamenei reportedly learned of his own appointment as supreme leader from watching state television, suggesting that he too was caught by surprise by the speed of the succession, and may not have been in a condition to participate in or fully comprehend the process as it unfolded. The double assassination theory. What it actually claims, the double assassination theory, is the analytical framework that attempts to explain all of these data points within a coherent strategic narrative. The theory does not necessarily claim that Mojtaba Khamenei is literally dead, though that possibility cannot be excluded. What it claims is that the same strike that killed Ali Khamenei effectively eliminated both generations of Khamenei leadership from functional control of the Iranian state that the father was killed outright and the son was so severely incapacitated that he cannot exercise meaningful governing authority. Under this theory, Iran's real power has shifted, as the White House assessment suggests, to the IRGC. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, under its current commanders, is calling the shots on military strategy, proxy network management, and the Strait of Hormuz closure. The Supreme Leader's office is being maintained as a symbolic and legitimizing institution, with written statements and archived photographs keeping the fiction of functioning civilian religious leadership alive for domestic and international audiences. This matters enormously for how the war develops. A supreme leader who is genuinely in control can make strategic decisions, can choose to negotiate, can authorize a ceasefire, can redirect Iran's military posture. A supreme leader who is incapacitated or dead cannot. If the IRGC is actually running Iran's war strategy without a functioning supreme religious authority, the command structure is more fragmented, more unpredictable, and potentially more dangerous. It also matters for Iran's domestic stability. The Islamic Republic's legitimacy rests on the concept of Valayati Faqih, the guardianship of the Islamic jurist. A supreme leader who cannot be seen, cannot speak, and cannot exercise actual authority undermines that foundational legitimacy in ways that could accelerate internal fractures already exposed by years of economic pressure and protest movements. What we know, what we don't, and why it matters is essential to be intellectually honest about what is confirmed and what remains genuinely unknown. What is confirmed? Ali Khamenei is dead killed in use of Israeli strikes on February 28th. Mojtaba Khamenei was injured in the same strike. He has not appeared on camera since his appointment. His first statement was delivered in writing by a television anchor. Senior U.S. officials believe he is wounded and possibly dead. Iran's foreign minister has denied this without providing evidence. What is unconfirmed? The precise nature and severity of Mojtaba Khamenei's injuries, whether he is alive, whether he's capable of functioning as supreme leader, who is actually making day-to-day decisions within the Iranian command structure, why it matters. Iran is a nuclear-laden state in an active war. It has closed the Strait of Hormuz, through which 20% of the world's oil supply flows. Its proxy network is active across multiple theaters. The decisions being made inside Tehran right now, by whoever is actually making them, are shaping the trajectory of a conflict with the potential to destabilize global energy markets and draw in additional regional and global actors. When the identity and condition of the person at the top of that decision-making chain is genuinely unknown, the risk of miscalculation by all parties increases dramatically. Adversaries may misjudge Iran's red lines. Iran's own military commanders may act without clear strategic guidance. Proxy forces may escalate beyond what a functioning supreme authority would authorize. The double assassination theory, whether ultimately proven true or false, represents the most serious question in global geopolitics right now. And the fact that it cannot be definitively answered because Iran will not show the world its leader is itself an answer of a kind. Here is where the evidence leaves us. Iran's new supreme leader has not been seen since a Israeli strike killed his father, his wife, and multiple family members. His own government will not show him to the world. The United States, with the full weight of its intelligence apparatus, believes he is either dead or effectively incapacitated. The IRGC appears to be managing Iran's wartime strategy with a degree of autonomy that suggests the supreme religious authority is either absent or functionally irrelevant to operational decisions. The double assassination theory is not confirmed, but the evidence that supports it is substantial, documented, and being taken seriously by the most powerful governments on earth, and the observable behavior of the Iranian state. The written statements, the archived photographs, the absence of video, the foreign minister's unsolicited health assurances is entirely consistent with a government managing the concealment of a catastrophic leadership loss. The Islamic Republic has survived crises before. It survived the Iran-Iraq War. It survived international sanctions. It survived mass protest movements, but it has never before faced the simultaneous deaths of its supreme leader and the heir apparent in a single military strike while engaged in an active war against the world's most powerful military alliance. Whether Mojtaba Khamenei is alive, incapacitated, or dead, the Iranian state that emerges from this war, if it survives it, will be fundamentally different from the one that entered it. And the world's ability to navigate that transition safely depends entirely on our ability to understand what is actually happening inside Tehran right now. That is the honest, evidence-based answer to the question everyone is asking. And as new information emerges, this channel will bring it to you with the same commitment to documented fact and serious analysis. If this breakdown gave you a clearer picture of one of the most complex and consequential stories unfolding in the world right now, then you are in exactly the right place. This channel exists to cut through the noise and deliver the analysis that actually matters, grounded in evidence, free from panic, and committed to the truth, however uncomfortable it is. Hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update on this story as it develops. Share this video with someone who wants to understand what is really happening in the Middle East, because the more clearly we see these events, the better equipped we all are to understand the world we are living in. We will see you in the next one.